Hey everybody, welcome back to Cameron Sports Podcast. It's your host here, Cameron Lindsay, with a brand new episode. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the MLB playoffs. I'm going to be giving some of my key notes from high school football, last week of high school football. Talk about my takeaways from week 7 of the college football 2024 college football season. And I'll give my week 8 predictions for the college football season. And I'm going to give my NFL week 7 predictions. So let's get into today's show. Oh, before I continue, remember, please click that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to like 500 subscribers. That's my next goal. Right now I'm at 200 something. But yeah, make sure you click that subscribe button, share the channel with others, and let's get it. But like I said, let's get into the MLB playoffs. Recently, the MLB playoffs started. We are now in the championship round, the National League Championship Series, the American League Championship Series. In the National League Championship Series, we got the Mets taking on the Dodgers. The Dodgers currently lead the series 2-1. Like I said, the National League, American League Championship Series are the best of 7. The Dodgers won Game 1 9-0. They dominated that game from start to finish. That game was over way before the 9th inning, 9-0. Mets bounced back in Game 2, won 7-3. They was up like 5-6 nothing early on in that game, ended up winning 7-3. Dodgers won yesterday 8-0. So now they lead the series 2-1. I do expect the Mets to bounce back, especially with Pete Alonso and Lesender. I forgot how to pronounce his name. I do expect the Mets to bounce back. I do have the Dodgers winning this series in at least 6, maybe 7 games. I do have the Dodgers winning this series and advancing to the World Series. Now, in the American League Championship Series, the Yankees are taking on the Cleveland Guardians. And like I said, in the best of 7, the Yankees won Game 1 5-2, and they turn around and won Game 2 also 6-3, lead the series 2-0. Today, like I said, as I'm filming this episode, they're playing Game 3. Right now, the Guardians are leading the Yankees. Matter of fact, I can check that score right now for y'all. I think the Guardians are leading 3-1 in the top of the 8th inning right now over the Yankees. So if they hold on to that lead, the Yankees will lead the series 2-1 if the Guardians win Game 3. But I do got the Yankees winning this series at least in 7. I'm predicting in 7. I think the Guardians will win this game and win Game 4. But I got the Yankees winning in 7, maybe 6, but I say at least 7. And I got the Yankees versus the Dodgers in the World Series, but I got the Dodgers winning it all in the 6 games. The reason is because I just think the Dodgers are more deep with Shea Ohtani, who's going to be National League MVP. You got Freddie Freeman. You got Mookie Betts. I just think the Dodgers are a little bit more deeper. I know that Yankees got Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Carlos Stanton, if I pronounce his name, but I'll have the Dodgers winning at least a tough 6 games against the Yankees. It would not surprise me if the Yankees won the World Series, but I'm going to go with the Dodgers because I think they got more depth with Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman, so I just think they got a little bit more depth. But yeah, let's get into some football. Starting with some high school football. Duncanville dominated in a top 25 national matchup against in-state rival DeSoto. Like I said, I watched it online on one of my friends. Shout out to Malik, who lives in Texas. He sent me the link, and I was able to watch this game online. I wish it was on ESPN. Sorry. But Duncanville dominated this game. I thought it was going to be a tough game. DeSoto beat Duncanville last year. So I thought it was going to be another close game, but from the jump, like it was over. 5-star receiver, Oregon commit, the number 1 receiver in the 2025 class, DeCorian Moore, had 9 catches for 231 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had all 4 of his touchdowns in the first half. He was dominant. They couldn't cover him, especially one-on-one. His teammate, 4-star quarterback and Alabama commit, Kalen Russell, he went 27-36 for 427 yards and 6 touchdown passes. Both of these two dominated. I think these two are clearly the best quarterback-receiver duo in all of high school football. Like I said, Keelan, he looked like a 5-star quarterback. It would not be surprised me. I said this before, way before the season started. I think he probably end up being a 5-star recruit before the end of this recruiting cycle. Like I said, I think he's a really good quarterback. There's a reason he won the Elite 11 camp. Like I said, I think Alabama's getting a really, really good quarterback in the 2025 class that's going to be able to develop. So I can't wait to see him at Alabama, and I definitely can't wait to see DeCorian Moore at Oregon. Oregon's going to get a really, really good player, fast, good route runner, good hands. But yeah, DeSoto could not cover DeCorian Moore one-on-one. No matter what they did, they just could not cover him one-on-one. But let's get into some college football takeaways, some notes. Number 7, Alabama barely escaped SEC rival South Carolina at home. They held on to beat South Carolina 27-25. Now, I was at work. I had to work. I work at like I said, Kia plant. Sometimes we work Saturdays once a month, sometimes twice. And I was at work and got off. South Carolina was in the game. Like, I was shocked. And, I thought Alabama would bounce back in a big way, especially after losing to Vanderbilt on the road, be motivated. But after seeing the second half of this game, I'm like I said, it confirmed what I already knew. Alabama's defense is not the same. Like I said, Nick Saban and Kellen Napier are two different coaches. Kellen Napier is an offensive-minded coach. Nick Saban was defense. He can recruit on both sides of the ball, but he was defense. He would be at practice coaching the DBs, the corners, the safeties. Kellen Napier, he's more with the quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, but mainly quarterbacks. So I just think offensive-wise, they're going to look good. Ryan Williams, 5-star freshman. Their quarterback, oh, Lord. The quarterback, like I said, they're gonna be fine. Like, so, yeah, they're going to. They offensive wise, they're gonna be fine. It's just defense; they're just not the same. I don't think teams are afraid now to run the ball at Alabama. They're not afraid to throw the ball against Alabama because their defense is not the same at all. Especially since Nick Saban has recently just retired. Another note. Number 1, Texas dominated in the Red River rivalry game against number 18, Oklahoma, 34-3. This game was not close. I thought it was going to be close. Like I said, Quinn Ewers came back from injury. They went 3 and out. He got sacked sacked the first play of the game. The first drive, first couple plays of the game, he got sacked. I thought it was going to be close, but Texas dominated this game. Wasn't close at all. Texas proved why they're the number 1 team in the country. Like I said, these teams may be now in the SEC, but it's still the Red River rivalry game. Jalen Milroe, that's who I'm thinking of, Alabama's quarterback. I'm sorry, I know y'all. I swear, after I get off the camera, I always remember everybody's names. But Jalen Milroe, he'd be with Jalen Milroe. But Texas did prove they're the number 1 team after beating Oklahoma 34-3 in the top 25 matchup. Another note, number 3 Oregon beats number 2 Ohio State at home in a thriller 32-31. Now, if you watch my predictions at the beginning of the season, I predicted Oregon winning this game. Last episode, I predicted Oregon winning this game. But I also said Ohio State is going to bounce back and beat Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, I believe. I think Ohio State will beat Oregon in a rematch, in a close one. But regardless, I had both teams making the college football playoff regardless. This was a really good game, a thriller, possible game of the year. Like, it was really, really good. It lived up to the hype. I'm glad it did, because that's what college football is about. We have matchups like these, a top 5 matchup, number 3 Oregon, number 2 Ohio State, both undefeated. We want to see a really good game. We don't want to see a blowout. And Dylan Gabriel looked good. Jordan James, running back out of Oregon, looked good. Ohio State offense looked pretty good. Now, at the end of the game, Will Howard sliding. Yeah, he had a brain fart. That wasn't good. I don't know what he was thinking in that moment. But, yeah, Oregon winning by 1 point, 32-31. Lastly, Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty now had 31 carries for 217 yards and a touchdown versus Hawaii last week. He now has 126 carries for 1,273 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns on the season so far in just 6 games. Now, yeah, that's very impressive. Now, he's slated to reach 2,000 rushing yards already. And I think if he keeps on this pace, at least stays healthy, he will probably win the Heisman. I think he for sure is going to be a Heisman candidate. There's no way he's not with these numbers. He's a Heisman candidate with these numbers right now. I think with Travis Hunter getting hurt, he's right now. Ashton Genty is my number one Heisman. If I had to vote today, I would vote for Ashton Genty. Even though I hope Travis Hunter is okay. He did get hurt last week in a loss against Kansas State. But right now, my new number one is Ashton Genty, running back out of Boise State. And I think if he keeps doing like this, Boise State wins the Mountain West Conference. I think Boise State will make the college football playoff. Like I said, I predicted I went with Liberty, but I said if not Liberty, I would go with Boise State. And right now, Boise State is the highest ranked non-group of four school, group of five school. My bad. Non-power four school, but group of five. And Boise State will be joining the Pac-12 in 2026, so they'll be a power five school in the next couple of years. But yeah, those are my key takeaways from Week 7. Now let's get into my Week 8 predictions of the college football season. Starting off on Friday, October 18th, 8 p.m. Number 2 Oregon goes on the road to Purdue, who's 1-5 now. I get it. Oregon beat Ohio State last week, but I feel like this could possibly be a trap game. Games like this where you have a top 5 matchup, you just beat a top 5 undefeated team at home, and then the next week you go to play a team that only won 1 game in 6 games. That could be a trap game. Just like I said, this is the Big Ten Conference. Your first year in a new conference, you're playing Purdue. I feel like this might be a close game. I'm not even going to lie. I hope not. But it would not be surprising if this is a trap game, but I'm going to go with Oregon regardless. I'm going with Oregon. Better quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. Great running back in Jordan James. Great receivers. Great coach in Dan Lanning. Pretty good defense. I'm going with Oregon over Purdue. Next up, Saturday, October 19th, get into Saturday games. Number 6, Miami, 6-0, goes to Louisville, 4-2. Now, this one right here can also be a trap game. Louisville is a pretty good team. They're 4-2, so they're not bad at all. Miami has had a couple close calls against Virginia Tech, against Cal, I think. So this could be a trap game if Cam Ward starts off rough and the Miami defense is not playing well. They could be in trouble. But I'm going Miami. I'm going with the better quarterback. I trust Cam Ward, who's one of my Heisman candidates, who's arguably the best college football quarterback in the nation. Him and Shador, you can argue. But I'm going Miami because I trust Cam Ward. I trust Mario Cristobal. I trust him a little bit, not fully. But he's a pretty good head coach in Mario Cristobal. But I really like Cam Ward. So I'm going with Miami. Next up, Nebraska, 5-1, taking on number 16 ranked Indiana, who's 6-0. I ain't going to lie. Indiana's a whole lot better than I thought. Because last year I was looking at their record. I think they won 3 games last year. So I'm really shocked to see Indiana 6-0, already bowl eligible, undefeated. Now, I don't expect them to – it's possible they could make it to the Big Ten championship game, but I don't think so. But if this was in Nebraska, I would go Nebraska because I like Dylan Raiola. That Nebraska's team is playing pretty well. Matt Rule is a really good coach, but it's at Indiana, and I'm going to go Indiana to win this game to improve to 7-0. But it would not shock me if Nebraska won this game. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going Indiana with the home field advantage. Next up, Auburn, 2-4 versus 19 ranked Missouri, 5-1. I'm kind of disappointed in Auburn. Like I said, I've been said it. They got one of the worst quarterback rooms in the nation. With Peyton Thorne, they got some very talented receivers, especially in Cam Coleman. He's my favorite freshman receiver in the nation. I think he's going to be special. I've been saying this off camera on Instagram. He's going to be special. Twitter, Facebook. Cam Coleman, 5-star receiver in the 2024 class. He's special. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, has speed, has size. I just think they need a quarterback, the right quarterback, to turn that program around. And I hate to see it like Auburn at the bottom of the SEC, even behind Vanderbilt. But I'm going Missouri. I just don't think this game's going to be real close. I expect Missouri to dominate this game, especially at home, because I don't trust Peyton Thorne at all. I don't really trust the Auburn defense fully. So I'm going Missouri in a big win over Auburn. Next up, got East Carolina, 3-3, taking on Army, number 23 ranked Army 6-0. I know you're shocked to hear me to say that. Army 6-0, ranked in the top 25. I'm shocked. That's the only reason I'm talking about this game, because of Army. They are now, like I said, they're now in the American Conference, so they're not independent. They're in the American Conference now. I don't know if they're gonna be able to. I think they might be eligible to play in the American Conference. I hope so, but I think it's pretty entertaining. Now I don't like that whole wishbone offense that Army, Navy, and Air Force run, but they're 6-0. Like, hey, they playing very well, and I'm going with Army to get the win over East Carolina to improve to 7-0. Next up, we got Alabama 5-1 taking on number 11 ranked Tennessee, who's also 5-1. Now, like I said, this will be a 3:30 game, also Saturday. I was going back and forth. Originally, I was gonna go with number 11 Tennessee because I like Nico Imalava. I can't say his name. Redshirt freshman, 6'6", very good arm, but he's young. Like, I don't know if I fully trust him over Jalen Milroe, a veteran quarterback like Jalen Milroe, a very good head coach in Kellen Dapier. So I'm going to go Alabama because I feel like Jalen Milroe, he's going to be able to use his legs, extend plays, run the ball, throw the ball. Even if I don't trust Alabama's defense fully, I got Alabama in a very close game over Tennessee, but it would not shock me. I'm not confident. I'm probably like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm confident in this pick. I'm going to go with a 3. But I'm going to go Alabama because, like I said, the veteran quarterback in Jalen Milroe. Now, as Nico Lava gets older, then I will pick Tennessee over Alabama. But right now, I'm going to go with Alabama slightly over Tennessee. Next, we got number 12th ranked Notre Dame, 5-1, taking on Georgia Tech, 5-2. I'm going to go with Notre Dame. Like I said, even though Georgia Tech's been playing very well, I think it's going to be a close game. Marcus Freeman looks like he has Notre Dame playing really good lately, bouncing back after that loss against week 2 loss at home against Northern Illinois. Now, I don't know if Notre Dame's going to make the college football playoff. They're going to need some help. But I'm going to go in a close game, Notre Dame over Georgia Tech. Next up, we got number 24th ranked Michigan, 4-2, taking on number 22 ranked Illinois, 5-1. That's another team I'm surprised. Illinois, 5-1, ranked in the top 25. I'm going Illinois mainly because I just don't trust Michigan's quarterback situation. Alex Orji, or I forgot the other quarterback's name. They've been going back and forth, benching one quarterback for the other. Like, they got a nice running back in Dylan Edwards. I like him, but outside of that, I just don't like their offense. Their defense is okay, not the same, but you lost your head coach, Jim Harbaugh. You lost J.J. McCarthy. You lost Blake Corum. But Jerome Moore is a really good coach. I just think after this year, he needs a year or two to really get back on track for Michigan. I just don't think that they going to bounce back this week against Illinois. I'm going Illinois in a close one. Next, I got number 8th ranked LSU 5-1 taking on Arkansas 4-2. LSU coming off a win at home against Ole Miss. Arkansas coming on with an upset against Tennessee. Now, I think it's going to be a close one, like I said, but I'm going LSU, who's been playing pretty good lately, even after losing their best defender in Arnold Perkins. LSU's offense has been playing pretty well. So, who knows? They can have a chance to possibly contend for the college football playoff, even with some key injuries on their team on offense and defense. Next up, I'm going number 17th ranked Kansas State 5-1, taking on my West Virginia Mountaineers 3-3. I'm not going to waste some time. I'm going Kansas State. I'm just done with oh my goodness. I forgot his name. Like, I'm just done with our head coach because, like, last year we had no expectations. We won 9 games. This year, I'm like, okay, we got Garrett Green. Our offense is looking good. We got some receivers. So I got expectations to reach the Big 12 championship game. And the way it's looking like right now, it looks like we're not going to do that. And I just don't believe in our head coach. I just don't. Our quarterback, Garrett Green, I don't fully believe in him anymore either because he keeps turning the ball over, throwing key interceptions. And I would not surprised if he gets. I know they extended him after the season last year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired. If our head coach gets fired after this year, and I most likely will remember his name after this episode. But right now, I'm just frustrated. But I'm going Kansas State for the win. And lastly, this will be the game of the week, the big game everybody's gonna be talking about. Number 5 Georgia, 5-1, taking on number 1 Texas, 6-0, 7:30 p.m. I'm going number 1 Texas, and here's why. Texas got the better quarterback, Quinn Ewers. Head coach wise, I'll go. It's Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart, because 2-time national champion, won 2 national championships in the past 3-4 years. But I just think this year Texas is more loaded. Like I said, especially the quarterback position is the most important position on the football field. And watching Carson Beck, I just don't fully trust him. That Alabama game, yeah, they came back and only lost by a couple points, but they was down 28-0. And a key factor in that was Carson Beck turning the ball over multiple times. And I know Mel Kiper and them had Carson Beck projected as a number 1 quarterback in the 2025 draft before the season even started. But I'm like, I really don't see a number 1 overall pick or even a early first rounder. Now, he still might get drafted in the first round, but if I'm a team, would I really want to choose Carson Beck over Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders? I just don't. I don't see it. I'm watching it, and I just don't see what these NFL analysts see in Carson Beck. Like, I just don't see the hype. I feel like they're adding on hype, and then if a team drafts him and he ends up being a bust, then what? Now, if he ends up being really good, I'll eat my words and come on here and say, hey, y'all, I was wrong about Carson Beck. He's legit. I'll say that. But I'm going Texas. I think Quinn Ewers is a far better quarterback. Now, I think Quinn Ewers could possibly be a first-round pick in the 2025 draft. Because before he got hurt, he was really, really good. Even in the Oklahoma game, he played very well. Very well in the Oklahoma game. So I'm going Texas, especially at home in Austin. In that heat, I'm going Texas in a close one. Like I said, Georgia is still Georgia, so we're not going to disrespect Georgia. They still can run the ball, still got a good defense, got really an elite head coach, and Kirby Smart. I just think Texas is a better team. They're clearly the number 1 team in the nation. Now, would it shock me if Georgia wins this game? Not completely. No, it wouldn't shock me. Yes and no. But I'm going Texas because I think Quinn Ewers is a far better quarterback, and that's the most important position on the football field. And I just don't trust Carson Beck in this situation. I really don't see all the hype. But those are my picks for the Week 8 college football season. Let's get into some NFL football for Week 7. Starting off with some Thursday night football. I'm going with 3-3 Broncos taking on the 2-4 Saints. I'm going with the Broncos, like I said, mainly because Denver's defense has been playing pretty well. Even though, like I said, my Chargers went into Denver, picked up the win, was up 23-0. Denver ended up bouncing back. Made it a close game. We won the game 23-16. But Bo Nix has been playing pretty well. Like I said, I think Denver might have a legit quarterback in Bo Nix. They just need more receivers, need more pieces around him. I know they got Cortland Sutton and now rookie receiver Troy Franklin. I just think they need a little bit more to help Bo Nix out as he develops more. So. But I trust Denver. Denver defense has been very elite with Patrick, especially with Patrick Surtain, who's arguably playing. I think right now he's probably the best corner, at least for now this season. He's been playing the best so far. But in the Saints, they're starting a rookie. They're also a rookie quarterback is Spencer Rattler. But I trust Bo Nix more than I do Spencer Rattler. And plus, with Saints having injuries of themselves. I just saw today the Saints are placing wide receiver Rashid Shaheed on IR, so he's going to be out for a while. So that's going to be a key factor. Rashid Shaheed's a very good deep threat receiver who's on kickoff, punt also. So that's going to be a key weapon that they're not going to have on the field. They still will have Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara, so we'll be at home, but I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to go Denver in this situation. I trust Sean Payton more than I do the Saints head coach, and he's on the hot seat. I think if the Saints, it's crazy. Like, the Saints started 2-0, leading the league in scoring 40 points a game, beat Dallas on the road badly, and now they lose 4 straight games. That's crazy. I never see something like this where teams dominate this fast on offense and then lose 4 straight games. That's crazy, but I'm going Denver to win this game. I trust Bo Nix more. I trust Sean Payton more than I do Spencer Rattler in their offense. Next up, we got the Patriots 1-5 taking on the Jaguars 1-5. I'm not going to waste too much time on this game. I'm going Jaguars. This will be in London, 9:30 a.m. game. So if you want to watch this game, you're probably going to have to wake up real early. But these are 2 bad teams. So you're probably not going to be missing much, but I'm going Jaguars and win this game. Next up, we got Titans 1-4 taking on the Bills 3-2. I'm going Bills. Bills just traded for Amari Cooper, so that's a big, huge addition that the Bills needed, even though it wasn't necessarily a need that they had to get. But the Bills are, I think are back in contention now. They got a number one receiver, even though Amari Cooper is getting older, but he's still a really good route runner. After trading away Stephon Diggs in the offseason, they got some, they got Keon Coleman. They got some pretty good receivers, a decent run game, but this will help Josh Allen out more. Having Amari Cooper. You already got Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. So, but I'm going Bills easily over the Titans. Next up, we got the Texans 5-1 against the Packers 4-2. This one I went back and forth a little bit because the Packers have been playing well lately, since Jordan Love has gotten back from injury. But the Texans also has been playing very well. Even with Nico Collins being out, he's going to be out for a while. You still got Tank Dell. You still got Stephon Diggs. Their defense has been playing well. C.J. Stroud is playing well. He's looking like an MVP candidate. But the Packers, Jordan Love is playing well. Their defense, you got Jair Alexander. And it's at Green Bay. But I'm going to put faith in C.J. I was watching NFL Live First Take. And they said, they're going with the Packers because they'll believe in this game. They believe in Jordan Love more, which that really confused me. I trust C.J. Stroud more, to be honest. I think C.J. Stroud's the better quarterback. I know C.J. Stroud was a rookie last year, and Jordan Love was his first year starting. I think C.J. Stroud's clearly the better quarterback, even though both of them are really, really good. I trust C.J. Stroud a little bit more than I do Jordan Love. I think it's gonna be a close game by a field goal or 7 points. I'm going Texans slightly over the Packers. Next up, got the Eagles 3-2 over the Giants 2-4. This is, I think, a revenge game for Saquon. I know I saw on First Take, and then somebody said this is not a revenge game. Yes, it is. The way the New York Giants did this to Saquon, look at the way Daniel Jones is playing. Since he signed that big contract a couple years ago, he has more interceptions and pick sixes than touchdown passes to his own teammates. The Giants chose to pay Daniel. I know the quarterback, like I said, with Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers, the quarterback position is the most important position on the field. Yes, it is. But Saquon was clearly the Giants' best player. Clearly. You chose to pay Daniel Jones rather than Saquon. Now, I know Saquon has been injured most of his career, but when he's healthy, he's electric. Look how he's playing very well right now for the Eagles. Very well, because he finally has an offensive line. The Eagles have an elite offensive line. Even after losing Jason Kelce, you still got Lane Johnson on the offensive line. They still got a very, very good offensive line. And they run the ball very well. And Saquon is looking very, very good. And, I just don't trust the Giants at all. Now, Malik Neighbors is looking pretty good. Their defensive line is very good. Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, who they traded from Carolina. But I'm going to go Eagles. Like I said, as long as Jalen Hurts don't turn the ball over like he didn't do against Cleveland. It might be a close game. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm going Eagles. They just got to run the ball with Saquon. If I'm Saquon, I'm saying feed me the ball. Whether it's throwing or running, you want to get this win. You want to get this win against the Giants, especially at New York. And let them know that y'all should have paid me and not Daniel Jones. Next up, we got the Lions 4-1 taking on the Vikings 5-0. Originally, I was going to go with the Lions, but I'm like, I got the Vikings and Lions. The way the Vikings are playing right now, I will go split. I think the Lions and Vikings are going to split. So with that being said, I'm going to go Vikings in a close one, especially the way Sam Darnold has been playing, looking like an MVP candidate. That Vikings defense, Harrison Smith, have been playing very, very elite football. The Lions are looking very good. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jameson Williams is having a breakout year. I know they lost Aiden Hutchinson due to a bad leg injury. He's going to be out for a while. There's no report that he's going to be out for the year. But it sucks to lose your best defensive player. But, I still think the Lions got a good defense, but an elite offense. So, but I'm going to go Vikings in a close one, especially being at home. Now, in a rematch when it's at Detroit, I'm going to go Detroit because I got both teams split. And that'll be a 1 o'clock game. Also, 1 o'clock, got the Seahawks 3-3 taking on the Falcons 4-2. I'm going to go Falcons to win this game. I trust Kirk Cousins more than I do Geno Smith. Next up, got the Bengals 2-4 taking on the Browns 1-5. I'm going Bengals, close one. I know the Browns usually have the Bengals number, but I just don't trust Deshaun Watson. He been playing like a tomato can. I think after this year, they gonna have to, like the Broncos did with Russell Wilson. You got to eat that dead money. You know, they're gonna be one of the worst contracts in football. You got to draft a quarterback in the NFL draft because Deshaun Watson is not it. He's the weakest link on your team, literally holding your team back. You're 1-5. You're probably gonna have to fire Kevin Stefanski and get a new coach. Just start over. You're just gonna have to start over. I'm sorry. Next up, we got the Dolphins 2-3 against Colts 3-3. I'm gonna go with Colts. Originally, Joe Flacco was slated to play, but I think it looks like Anthony Richardson might play. So, but I'm still going.